Talking about musicians and cool things and stuff. It's the Holly and Josh Show. Yeah, welcome to the Harley and Josh Show. This week, Harley has broken down mentally. So instead of him, we've got his counterpart, Mr. Rainer Van Dale again. Yeah. The cow goes wild. Macho Man, Rainer Savage. How you feeling? You good? Yeah,
I'm good, man.
Yeah, thank you for coming and filling in, mate.
No probs.
This week we have news regarding Article 13 passing through the EU Court of Law. We also have UK music venues face 125% jump in royalty fees, as well as Google has just bought Spotify. Who'd knew us, right? But before we do any of that, also we've got some music, which is wonderful. Pet Needs, new music from Pet Needs, new music from Polly Haynes, and some music from me and the band Goofa Dust. All of this stuff. But, you know, more importantly, Rainer, what'd you do? Please.
So, this weekend, over the last weekend, I was on a little tour with East Town Pirates.
UTP.
So a little 3-day co-headline tour with Pussycat and the Dirty Johnsons. I'm allowed to say that pre-Watershed, right?
Raunchy.
And the Witch Doctors, and it was awesome, man, because all three of us are within our own right headliners in our own towns, and we're all playing at a festival together in a month's time.
Oh, what's the festival?
Undercover Festival. It's awesome. It's just
Is it open air?
The venue's changed this year, so I'm not sure, but the last 2 years it's been in Margate. Inside. No, it's definitely inside again. It's not an open air.
So it is undercover. That's useful.
Yeah.
It's got to be on brand.
On brand. But yeah, it's awesome. So basically, this was just like a little warm-up for the festival. So we each played our hometowns and headlined and took turns supporting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really fun.
How did you do with kit share with that? Because obviously the setup's different each night as to who's going on first.
Yeah, so the way we tackled that was basically... So we played Camden, Brighton, then Ipswich. Camden and Brighton, both of those venues had pretty decent house kits, so everyone just used the house kit.
Oh, useful.
And then everyone just used their own amps and stuff.
What about you as a lefty? Did you have to just swatch it around, in that 50-minute changeover or something?
Typical annoying lefty, having to let the sound guy know like in advance.
Well, at least you do that. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, they seem to like that as well. A lot of...
You told me.
Yeah, whenever I go up to them, I'm always really polite.
You're a functioning human being.
I'm sorry, I know I'm a pain, but I'm a lefty, and we're gonna have to swap the mics over. And they're like, "Well, at least you told me." We get so many bands who don't, and then I'm like, "Oh, he's moved the mics, and now I need to go."
Yeah, exactly.
But that was really good. So we did that, and then last night, Saturday night for the final show in Ipswich, we all used my drum kit. Steamboat doesn't have a kit.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's good. So the order was Camden. We played at Dublin Castle, which was amazing. I'd never been there before.
Amazing.
And it made me think of the scene from In-Betweeners that was filmed there.
Yes, exactly. But I'm trying to remember what the band was that played there.
Can't.
So In-Betweeners, I'm just searching it. In-Betweeners, Dublin Castle. Right. Let's find out, because I remember I saw them play with Don Broco and Mallory Knox once, and they were awesome. But yeah, anyway, less about me.
Yeah, I'll let you get into that. So that was really cool. It was my first time at that venue, and for an opening night of the tour, it was the perfect start really, because the crowd it was packed from the first band, which is rare,
That's
normally
crazy.
The first band you suffer a little bit of like the people are still arriving and no one's really getting into it. But yeah, from the get-go, man, every single set, every single gig, every venue, every band was amazing.
Right.
Brighton in the middle, that was so cool. It was the first time I played in Brighton for about 10 years, and the venue we were at was the Prince Albert, which is a cracking little venue, and they've recently
Does it sound quite piercing? Sorry.
Thanks. But they've recently got a new sound system, and it's amazing.
Sorry, the Hoosiers.
Oh yeah, of course it is.
The Hoosiers.
Who?
Hoosiers. Sorry, yeah, their sound system. What at the Prince Albert?
Oh, it's so good now, man.
Yeah,
so good. It sounded so professional.
Nice.
It was banging. It was nice to see a few mates from Brighton as well.
Oh really? Yeah. Who turned up?
My mate Jack, and then there was just a few familiar faces of people I recognise from the gig scene there. But yeah, it was so nice to finish it at the Steamboat, because we were the first band to christen the new Steamboat. the Steamboat's just been renovated, man. Do you know this?
I've not seen this. What?
So, you know how a big part of the Steamboat vibe is that everyone's crammed in that little corner at the end watching the band? That part of the room's now about 3 times the size.
What? How?
So what was behind the stage originally was the kitchen and the ladies' toilets, neither of which are there anymore. So they've just
Mad.
knocked the wall through, and the room is much bigger, so it's less crammed. The sound's much livelier. The stage is a little bit bigger.
Crazy.
It's awesome.
Where did the ladies pee?
So they've just moved the toilets now, so they're kind of near the bar, but
Right.
behind the bar. Yeah, you can do.
I was
like
gonna say
a
they
full
don't just sort of be
circle.
like, sorry, excuse me.
Yeah,
just,
dig a hole in the garden.
just on the stage.
It's really cool, man.
That's cool. I'm
They
gonna have
put
to
the
check it
floor
out now.
down the night before we played, and I was like,
Wow.
"We'll definitely wear that in, boy.
Yeah, tread the boards.
Yeah.
Very cool, man.
Walk the planks."
So yeah, what did the touring bands think of the Steamboat then?
Oh, they loved it. So Pussycat and the Dirty Johnsons, it was their first time playing it.
Yeah.
And they really enjoyed it because, as you know, the Ipswich crowd that Pirates pull is rowdy
Yeah,
and awesome, and
yeah.
they love it. They always have a good time.
I'm sad because I wasn't there.
Yeah, you were gigging as well, but
Yeah.
you'll get onto that, I'm sure. The Witch Doctors, they've played there with us a few times before, so they knew what to expect. But
Are they from Camden?
yeah, well, Witch Doctors and Pussycat are both sort of near Camden and London, so
Right.
we kind of just used those as their hometowns,
Yeah,
if you
nice.
see what I mean. But yeah, they loved it. They've been there before, and they were expecting the small room, the small cramped, sweaty room again,
Yeah,
not
of
this new
course.
big refurbishment. So
Whoa!
yeah, it was nice. Everyone was so good. I've made some great friends and some great memories on this tour. So
Can you tell me what you think the best crowd of the weekend was?
Ipswich.
Well, yeah, okay. Other than Ipswich, well, best out of Brighton and Camden.
Oh, Camden, 100%. Yeah. As much as I love Brighton, every time.
Sorry.
As much as I love Brighton, it's such a competitive music scene and very saturated, more so than London, I think.
Really?
The crowds there are notoriously difficult to win over, especially if you're not a local band.
I see.
So we played equally well every night, but every band said that the crowd at Camden, Brighton was just super hard to
Really?
get involved, and you know,
Interesting.
when you've got like back and forth bits like chanting and getting them
Yeah.
to clap, it just felt really difficult at
Right.
Brighton.
Difficult.
Whereas, like I said, at the Dublin Castle in Camden, man, like from the get-go, 2 songs into the opening band, the crowd was super
Yeah.
rowdy. It was amazing.
Nice. Yeah, well, that's what you want, isn't it? I mean, receptive crowds. Like you say, it could just be a bit oversaturated, but you know, London, you know, is crazy hard. Camden's crazy hard to gig. Have you ever done Great Escape Festival in Brighton?
Oh, good question.
Good
I
question.
might have.
Have you ever been to it?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
What's the vibe? Because I've never been. So it's like a pub crawl, isn't it? Really? It's
yeah,
like,
essentially, it's just like everyone trying to plan how they're going to get from pub to pub in time to see all their favourite bands.
yeah.
Or, you know, I think one year I just stayed at one of them and just
Yeah.
thought, you know, it's easier if I just stay here, I'll watch all the bands that are on here.
So did you have to pay for a ticket, or did you just turn up to the pub?
I think you just turn up.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get us onto it, but I don't know exactly who you're supposed to contact about that.
It was like 10 years ago when I would have been there before, so
Yeah.
forgive me for having a bit of a hazy memory of it,
No,
but
not at all.
they do a lot on the beach as well for that, and I
Amazing.
remember just spending a lot of the time at the beach.
That's
so-
great.
And you can't really charge someone at the beach.
Yeah,
'Cause
excuse
it's kind
me.
of hard to like. Right, so from
This
this
bit of
line of
sediment.
stones over, you have to pay, but if you're stood there, you're fine.
Escape Brighton.
Yeah, just hop in the water, swim around the fence, and get out of the water. Easy to break in at a beach festival.
We're looking for the most wet person we can find, the wet bandit. So okay, that's cool. I mean, it's very difficult when you are touring with a band that you haven't toured with before to know whether you guys are going to get on, or you know whether your music's even going to fit together.
Yeah.
Did you kind of know that it was just going to work beforehand, or were you a bit apprehensive?
So, I mean, the fact that we're all on the same festival together probably shows that we're all of a similar
True.
thing, because it is a sort of punky festival. However, what made the tour amazing for me is that we all sort of knew each other from gigging with each other previously, but it's the first time the 3 of us have got to spend 3 nights really seeing each other's show at its full potential, because we've never really seen each other headline the other show if you see what I mean, because they've
Yeah.
always been here supporting us, or we've been supporting them. But
Right. Interesting.
The Witch Doctors are what was great about them is they've got a similar vibe to Pirates. Just take away the piratiness,
Right.
and you've just got really catchy punk rock songs.
Yeah.
Really melodic, and it's awesome. The thing that make Pussycat and the Dirty Johnsons amazing is just how weird they are. Like, it's so
I've seen the
different
get-ups,
and
they're
cool,
strange.
and I love it. They've got no bass player. They've just got a really fat, deep guitar tone,
Right.
and these screeching, amazing
Yeah.
artistic vocals, and it's just rad, man.
Nice. I like that. Yeah, I mean, Undercover. There's footage of you playing that from before, isn't it? And is that
Yeah.
it's in like a theme park?
That's
in
right.
Margate?
It's at Dreamland in Margate.
Dreamland.
So
And you've done a
I've done a
video
couple
there
vlogs at the last 2 years when we've played it
on your YouTube channel.
on the YouTube.
Where do we find it?
youtube.com/Rainer or go to rainervandel.com, and there's a link on there.
Yeah. Well, speaking of that, so let's just pivot a sec
Pivot.
to pivot. Shut up. Your YouTube channel's been blowing up recently, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's mad. It came
Since the last time you were on the show.
Yeah, literally came out of nowhere. So our discussion about YouTube and the competitiveness kind of got me thinking that I wanted to do an experiment, really. And this was an experiment. I thought, you know, I thought, let's play the game and be quite open about the fact that I'm playing the game. And what I mean by that is, like, let me make the most YouTube generic video I can think of, relatively clickbaity title, thumbnail, just to see if, like, it is true that
Red arrows and circles.
Yeah, you know, and I did it, and for about a month it sat on 150 views, and I was like, well,
there we go. I broke the system.
there we go. I broke the system. But then I woke up one day and looked at my phone, and it was on 1,000, and I was like, wow, that was crazy overnight. The next day, 5,000. Next day, 10, 20. And then it got to the point where it was getting 40,000 views a day, right? And I went from like 300 subscribers to now at nearly 4,000, and the video's currently sitting on 540,000 views, which is more than the average episode of EastEnders. So if you want an autograph, send me an addressed envelope. And
Yeah, do it. Yeah, exactly.
But it's mad. It shows that it works. I did it as an
looks like Phil
experiment
Mitchell.
to be like, look, the reason why people always make at least one or two sellout videos on such a saturated platform is just to get their foot in the door so that they can do their own thing.
Yeah, good content
Because
past
I made
that.
sure to follow up with, you know, a more Rainer-esque video. If you look the couple videos afterwards, there's like a vlog and there's a review of a product, which is the sort of stuff I did anyway. But then I was like, let's see how far this can go. And I did a follow-up video to it, and it's, you know, it's doing all right, but I think it only is doing all right off the back of the one that went viral.
No, of course.
But it's
really
awesome,
strange
man.
because, like, how do you deal with going from, you know, not having that much admin to do with a YouTube channel? Well, you do have a lot, but there is difference because you've got to, you know, if you are going to be a successful YouTuber, you want to be able to reply to comments, you know, keep people involved and interact with your base. How have you adapted to that?
Well, even before the channel blew up a little bit, I always really liked to pride myself on the fact that I would always reply to every single comment, but then I could keep up with it because I was maybe getting like one a day.
And they weren't quite as mean.
Yeah, the trolls don't come out until you start getting a bit of traction. But
Traction trolls.
Traction Trolls, I love that. That's a good band name. But sorry, once I started getting maybe like 50 comments a day, it did get a little bit hard to keep up with it. But like you said, I just started filtering them to only reply to the ones worth replying to, like
relevant.
The amount of trolls and things that are just like, I don't understand what the point they're making, so I'll like them all just because it helps the page. It's more interaction.
Yeah, exactly.
And like what people don't understand is even when they sit there posting hate comments on your page and then that comment gets 1,000 likes, all that's doing is pushing you up in the rankings and making more people see it.
Yeah.
But you have to expect it now, and I'd say only about 20% of the comments are trolls, but I knew that was going to happen. And
Amazing.
I actually love it, and I love how like unoriginal a lot of them are. There's been so many, right? My favourite one, I'm just going to give a shout out to all the trolls, right? So anyone who knows me or has seen me IRL, that means in real life.
Thanks. I thought you meant URL.
URL. Now, anyone who's seen me in real life will know that I recently lost a lot of hair, and I now just shave it, and I'm pretty much bald under my hat. So there's a bit in the video where I'm talking about drumming and I say less is more, and I really drive the point home. And then I take my hat off about 10 seconds after I say it. And there's been about 100 comments of people going, less is more, like under your hat, right? And I actually think it's hilarious, so I replied to everyone with the laughing face emoji and the bald man emoji. But yeah, other than that, it's funny, man.
We were saying off air that it's quite good to just sort of keep you in check sometimes, isn't it? Because I mean, like, you're not an egotistical bloke, I don't think so. Anyway, you do have to have some level of ego to be able to put yourself out there online. But the people that just can't handle a bit of rimming is just like, you know, it's not so nice, is it? So, you know, the fact that you can be like, well, you know, no biggie.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, I don't mind. It doesn't get to me anymore. I did cry the first few comments and deleted my account, but then I was like, no, I'll get over it.
Exactly. I'll just suck my thumb and just carry on. So recently, Raina and I went and saw a wonderful band at the Railway in Vauxhall Road in Ipswich called Pet Needs. They've got a brand new single coming out this weekend. We'll tell you how to do it very, very soon. Until then, we actually get to let you listen to it, which nice. I don't think anybody else actually has heard the full recording yet. So you guys are well lucky, innit? This is How to Perfectly Pretend by Pet Needs. Check it.
How to perfectly pretend, my friend, I've been doing it for ages. I'm fine when you ask him smiling, ain't so what a weird question lying on my back in Happy Week. I had this epiphany, man, am I who I am, or am I as I wish to be perceived?
That was Pet Needs with How to Perfectly Pretend. That's going to be available this weekend, and I'll be telling you more about it very, very soon. But before that... What did I do? That's a good question, me from the past. Shall I answer it, Raina in the present?
Yeah,
why not? We had a really good week. Raina and I were hanging out on Friday after you, because I mean, while you were on tour, you guys didn't stay in hotels. You came back to your hometown before, every single night, which is knackering.
Yeah, but there was no way around it. Certain people couldn't get out of other. Things, like me, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Like I forced you to come to a photo shoot on the Friday, which we had Kezia Tan photo just up with us at Rendlesham at Ben Waters, where we do Rock Project, and it was loads of fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was good fun, man.
It was really sunny, wasn't it? That was really nice. Like no clouds, so we had really good natural lighting. Well, we were doing it because a lot of bands have studio shoots done for them, and we've never done that because, well, ever since day one, people have always just taken pictures of us on stage and sent them to us, which is a wonderful thing to have. So I've always just been like, well, that's what people are actually going to see us like.
Yeah.
So I'd prefer to really spread the message like that. But really, actually, it was after Chart Attack released their, Harley's band released their images from them, when they went in with their agency. I thought, wow, they look really professional.
Yeah.
And if you're a couple wanting to get married and you're looking for bands, you kind of want to see a personal side of a band, a personable side of a band as well. So, you kind of want to see what they might look like as normal human beings, not just, on stage screaming their faces off. But a lot of the times, the pictures that we have of us on stage are in, big festivals or in pubs where it's not really that representative of what we'd look like at the event.
At a wedding, for example, yeah.
It's like, we have to have a picture on, a caption underneath our picture saying colours may vary, may not be like what is picture, suitable revisions apply. So we got there and we were, Kezia was helping us sort of get these sort of studio shots that we could push in, we should copy and paste members when we want to, so we can sort of have, all of us standing in the same place. We did, a full band thing, trio thing, duo thing, individual shots. It had Tom with hench arms, Tom guitar thing, holding up the light for the whole time, and he's like, I'm fine. The most helpful were Hannah and Maisie, the dog.
I love Maisie.
She's a great dog.
Oh my god.
There's pictures of her, and I just got some of the pictures back from Kezia today, bless her. So, and there's some great ones of you just being like, Maisie, look at the camera.
Yeah.
Look at the camera. So yeah, that was really nice. We sort of did some wandering shots. We got shouted at by a farmer for sitting on his pile of tyres.
Yeah.
Can't sit there, boys.
He must get tired of people doing that.
Yeah, all the time. I mean,
It
health
must
and
be
safety.
really annoying. I'll leave. See you later, Josh.
You know, mate. Quite impressed with that. So yeah, that was really nice. Got to sort of get all that done. It's just been a massive admin week for me because I've got performances coming up next week for my students in their schools at Moorland and at Rendlesham to just to show off how great they are to their fellow students and their parents. So it's been a lot of people going, I haven't got my practice sheet, so I'm sending it off to them again and getting them all ready. It's going to be manic, but they're going to be so proud of themselves by the end of it. So I can't wait. So on the Saturday. Well, actually, before that, I wanted to get to this week. I've been writing some music, completely out of my comfort zone, for a mate of mine, Leon. You met him at my housewarming party, and he's making his own game, which is like this sort of it's an auto scroll, like old school Mario stuff, like Super Meat Boy, but it's sort of jumping and obstacles and stuff like this, and it looks well hard. It's his first ever game he's ever made, but he works for. He does the graphics for TT Games, which handles all the stuff for Lego, for all the Lego games and stuff like that. So he builds the models for them, and he's just been like, you know what, I really want to make my own game because he's a massive gamer and he's so good at every single game he picks up. When you're sort of doing those parties where you're like handing around the controller, you never get a go because he's just nailing it all the time.
Especially if his winner stays on. And
exactly.
Just got his own chair, just like, I might as well stay here.
You go make the teas, right?
Yeah.
5 of you. He basically asked me if I could write some music, but didn't give me any brief. He was just like, whatever's most fun for you.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, man. So that's fun. But I'm also like, so I've really got to think, because, Leon and I have been mates since high school. So I get his music taste.
Mm-hmm.
So I've sort of been toying around with stuff, sent some stuff over. He was like, yeah, that's cool. Carry on with that. I'm like, but there were different things happening there. Which one do you like the best? And he's like, whatever's the most fun for you.
It's almost like sometimes you want a client to be a little bit more fussy because then you have something to work towards.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
At the same time, it's awesome to have creative freedom.
So I've gone for... So I started off with like real electronic techno kind of style stuff. But then I realised it just sounded a little bit too Daft Punk at times. Mm-hmm. So I just basically added in drum breaks. So like old school James Brown stuff and old like Parliament style drum breaks, and now it just sounds like Prodigy, and I'm loving making it. It's just making these really hard, and like really like heavy synths, loads of arpeggiators, loads of pads, and it's really fun to make. I just need to add some samples in there. People just going woo,
nice,
and there we go. So yeah, that's been really fun. I'll keep you guys updated on that. And like Frankie was like, you need to release this as an album.
Yeah.
And I've my process with it. I basically just got a bunch of drum loops, and there must be about 30 or 40 different drum loops. I put them all in a line on Logic, and I would just go through.
Your song.
Yeah, we go. Yeah, exactly. All at the same tempo.
Yeah.
But I just basically make an 8-bar loop of them. Make an 8-bar loop of synths, bass, arpeggios, all this sort of stuff, chords, and then just move on to the next one and just try and be as random as possible. And I've already gotten through about 30 or 40 different, well, maybe not 40, about 30-ish tracks. Mm-hmm. They're not full tracks, but for a game that they're going to be sort of speeding up after every sort of 20 seconds.
Yeah.
So it'll be going from sort of 100 BPM to 120 BPM to 140 BPM and just getting more stressful as it goes. So yeah, it's kind of a no-brainer that you can just get so many out. But that was really quite a good exercise of just going, right, I'll just add a bunch of just get a bunch next to each other and just give myself half an hour and see how I do, and just timing like that, my productivity went up to the ceiling. So I don't know, I quite like that. You might try that yourself if you're listening in. But the most fun thing that we did this weekend, the last week, was last Saturday. Unfortunately, Raina missed it, but we played at the Mayor's Charity Ball at the Corn Exchange. I used to work there for years, and it was so weird because that's the first time I've ever played in the Corn Exchange stage.
Wow!
And I remember just being up in the rafters, doing the lights, doing the rigging, doing artist liaison and being front of house mostly. I'll be mostly doing like front of house and bar and kiosk stuff.
Yeah.
So it was really nice to just be back there for a swanky event, all suited and booted, getting fed in the mayor's chambers. We went up to the mayor's chambers where you see all the sort of the old clothes, the scepter, these swords. They let me hold the sword. I had a pair of white gloves on. I was like, amazing.
Awesome.
And I got a nice little history lesson about it. I get to hold this thing that was from 800 AD. It was just amazing. Just this sort of die cast of things that they would sort of print things on. And
Do you think anyone's ever dropped it?
if they did, it would hurt their foot because it was well heavy.
Was it?
I was holding it. I was like,
I feel like
"Put it
I'd
down
be
now."
that one guy who just like gets really excited and drops it.
But I mean, yeah, it would probably only just sort of scratch it. It's on carpet. I was thinking that. I was like, I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop this. I'm going to drop this.
Yeah, they make you hold it in like one of those pools full of sponges that they gymnasts practice in. What are they called? You know what I mean?
Yeah, sort of.
Yeah, I'm just rambling. Go on, sorry.
But no, it's right, man. But yeah, so we got to the Andrew Beale and Lynn Beale booked us for that. Thank you guys. Lynn listens to the show. You're wonderful. And we Andrew organised the stage, so it was tiered. So Rich was up on the sort of the main height of the stage. Murray and Goebel, because Goebel was Ben Goebel was from the Ben Goebel trio, was depping as Rainer wasn't there. He was playing saxophone and
Bingo
keyboards.
cards are going to be amazing today.
Right, crazy, right? And they were on this sort of like halfway down the stage, and I had a sort of a platform right at the front.
Sounds similar to what we did for New Year's at St. Peter's.
Similar, yeah, very similar. So yeah, they had this sort of thing, and I'm out in the middle of the crowd, and the rest of the guys are sort of very visible. Cool. Sound was great, thanks to Steve Mann. The lights were great, thanks to Jay. I used to work with both of those guys, so really nice to hang out with those two. And yeah, they raised a lot of money for the Suffolk Law Centre, which helps to give advice to people that can't afford solicitors and things,
good.
Which is really good, right? Something we might need. So it's that kind of thing of being able to say you did a great performance and know that it benefited people. We had some really good feedback. We got some bookings out of it, and we got free sandwiches.
Yay.
So cheers, guys. But anyway, so that's enough about me. I want to, play some more stuff from me. This is a new track from Goofa Dust. We recorded this at Rook's Yard. I play guitar on this one. We've got Craig up in the higher register on this one. So we're going to play this track called Shame. It's going to be coming out very soon. Take it easy. Cheers. Enjoy it. I'll fade out my solo there. That one was for Nigel because he asked for a bit of Giles, bit of harmonica as he's practicing harmonica on the beach. We'll see you at the Rock Project later on, mate. We recorded that at Rook's Yard. That was loads of fun. But less of that, more of the most important things happening the past week. Music news. Here we go with music news. I always forget the wrong music. So, this week we have news about Article 13 passing in the European Parliament. We also have royalty fees going up for small venues, as well as Google just bought Spotify, mate. How crazy. So let's talk about that. We've got, according to the Journal report, Apple's rapid ascent may have motivated the on-again, off-again acquisition talks between Google, Alphabet and Spotify. It was Alphabet, the company that owns Google, that's bought Spotify for $43.4 billion in cash.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? Just any time the word billion comes up when you're talking about money is mind-blowing.
Right.
But 43 of them...
I can't even count that high.
The 0.4 is an amazing amount of money.
Yeah, I could do with just a 0.4, mate. That'd be fine with that. So earlier, a meteoric rise in Spotify's stock price, followed by a late 2018 plunge, complicated negotiations despite interest on both sides. That new property will live separately under Alphabet Incorporated instead of being tied to Google or YouTube specifically.
I was wondering how that would work because YouTube have their own streaming service and I didn't know if they'd just amalgamate them into one big thing.
Amalgamation.
They've got such different branding and it says in the article here that when you look at the amount of paying subscribers for Spotify at like 100 million.
100 million, right?
YouTube and Google Play combined, I think, only have about 4.
Yeah.
So it's like Spotify clearly have most of the market.
Yeah, they've got a huge market share of that one. I don't have any figures here about how well Apple are doing. Could you Google that for me? Just find out how many subscribers Apple Music's got. So Daniel Ek, CEO and founder of Spotify, is now expected to share chief executive responsibilities with Lyor Cohen, currently global head of music at YouTube. The pairing is designed to bring more hip-hop to the combined Google Music mega umbrella, with Cohen leveraging his tight relationships with rappers like Kodak Black, 6ix9ine, Lil Yachty, and Moneybagg Yo. Have you found some?
Yeah, I've got it. It's interesting, right? So, it has 56 million users. But
Apple Music.
Yeah, but it doesn't specifically say how many of those are subscribers. But
Right.
I would assume that if you're a user of it,
You pay for it, yeah. Because I mean, I had my Apple Music subscription from the new contract when I got a new contract out with the EE. So I think there's probably a lot of people that will do the first 6 months or something like that. But Spotify does the same thing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So I mean, I use Spotify, but I don't pay for it, so I get the adverts. So, but I don't think you can do that with Apple. I don't think you can actually use it without paying for it. They don't do a free version. So, I don't know. I'm not sure if that makes it better or not. Because what did you say it was 50?
56 million
56
users.
million
but the more I'm
users.
reading into the article, sorry,
Go on.
it's only about 109. Whoa, hold on. No, that's even more.
Go on.
It says 109 million ad-supported monthly users. That would mean people who aren't paying for it, like how you said with Spotify. But it's really
Okay.
unclear as to how many people actually pay for the usage of it. I think from what it's saying here, its best guess is about 1 million. So that's even less than YouTube and the other one we said. What was
Not
the
a
other one?
huge amount. That was Google Play.
Google Play, sorry. Yeah, so that surprises me.
Well, it's relatively new, but they are very much heading towards streaming and stuff, Apple, these days. So I think Spotify's got a bit threatened by that. Thing that you quite liked, artists and songwriters will also receive a handsome payout. Well, sort of. According to details tipped during the private press preview, Alphabet-owned Spotify will initiative a special streaming payout of 1 penny per stream for a limited 24-hour period, which is mad in comparison to the 0.003. However, after that 24-hour period, the penny day rate will be dramatically reduced to a blended Google Music rate of 0.000001763 per spin.
It's a lot of noughts.
That's Graham Norton. Or YouTube's average advertiser payout rate, which is lower.
That is mad, isn't it? That really, really is mad. So, that's like I'd say that's like a few thousand times more per stream. So anyone out there who's got their music on Spotify, get it up on every device you own and put it on repeat for a day, trust me.
Definitely.
And I think that's today, isn't it?
Yes, so I think, because this is literally just broke. So I think everybody, if you can just put your stuff on repeat on Spotify, you make some money. So formal signatures and filings are expected to happen on Wednesday. But here's some politics for you. The regulatory approvals remain. In the US, however, the deal is expected to receive a rubber stamp approval thanks to sizable donations from Google and Alphabet to the committee to re-elect Donald Trump. So there's a little bit of, under the table stuff there. In the EU, however, officials are reportedly eyeing the acquisition with intense scrutiny, especially in light of the company's arduous lobbying against the Copyright Directive, Article 13.
Yeah.
Which brings us on to the next one, mate. Every time you're here, we seem to talk about Article 13 news, don't we?
I know anyone will think I'm an expert, but I probably know less than the average listener about it.
Smaller than the average man.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just been approved by EU Parliament, hasn't it? So
Yeah.
It's such a confusing thing. So to me, Article 13 is a bit like Brexit. I don't think anyone fully understands what it means, but everyone is really opinionated about it, right?
Yeah.
One way or the other. But
Definitely.
so it basically says here that members of the European Parliament have voted to adopt the directive on copyright in the digital single market, which includes the controversial Article 13, which has recently been renamed Article 17.
Branding.
I think
How
it's
is it
because
branding?
so many people like me are like, hold on, what is Article 13? Then when you've got people like YouTube, I feel so dirty saying this, but YouTube have kind of almost like had a lot of propaganda about Article 13. I kind of think they're trying to get away from the name, so people are like,
Yes.
oh, what's this other new thing? Is it the same? But it is supposed to be for good, isn't it? It aims to just try and make internet platforms liable for any misuse of copywriting. So Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, etc. And it makes those platforms the ones liable, not necessarily the person who's created the content.
Yeah.
Which, this is where my controversial opinion lies. I'm going to play devil's advocate here.
Go on.
I don't think I actually like Article 13.
Go on.
From a
You mean
social
17?
17 from a social media point of view, because if I'm to rip someone off and copy their music or post something that I don't own, that's my fault and I'm fully responsible for that.
Right.
Google, i.e. YouTube, shouldn't have to take the blame for that because they already have measures in place to stop that happening. So, for example, if I upload a drum cover, which is me uploading someone else's music to YouTube, I instantly get flagged up to say, you don't own the rights to this. However, the money that your video makes is going to get paid to the rights holder. So I'm like, well, what's the problem then? You know? I kind of, but it goes way deeper than that. My experience of Article 13 is only through YouTube, and I kind of don't trust.
They have really been like carpet bombing.
Oh, they've been so on it, and they were making out that as soon as this has passed, YouTube's basically going to shut down. But it's totally fine.
Yeah, I mean, this happened last Tuesday, March 26th. So it was right after the recording of our last show.
Yeah.
So we didn't report on it straight away, and it still seems to be there, doesn't it?
I just wish I understood more about it so I could have a better opinion on it.
I mean, it's the intensified campaigning to support the directive in the weeks leading up to the vote has been welcomed by a wide cross section of the music business. So I don't know, it's really good. The world's first legislation requires user upload content platforms to perform an act of communication to the public and must either seek authorization from rights holders or ensure no unauthorized content is available on their platforms.
Right.
So there's a lot of admin they're going to have to do, and there's kind of like watchmen kind of stuff. The directive also includes a stay down provision requiring platforms to keep unlicensed content down, another global first. So
I think the reason why the social media companies find that hard is because, like you said, what they're imposing is going to be almost impossible just using algorithms.
Oh, crikey,
because how would you do that with photographs? I mean, I know we've got like face recognition and stuff, but it's just not doable, especially when there's something like 1 billion minutes worth of footage uploaded to YouTube a day. I might be exaggerating that, but I know the figure is unfathomably huge. Is that the right word? Words. Hashtag words. But it's crazy. Like I feel like they already do so much to try and prevent people doing stuff they shouldn't. But I'm only talking about YouTube. I mean, with things like Facebook,
I mean, think about it now, that because not only the copyright directive it was Article 17, they had a couple other articles 11. I think that was the link tax, and Article 12, which I believe is the people are calling it the meme ban.
Yeah.
Where if you don't own the rights to an image, you can't put some font on it. And write something funny and then put it up on Facebook and make a meme out of it, which I mean is so much fun. I mean, we post them up on our Facebook page a lot,
and I don't really see, if you're not making money off it, why that's illegal.
Right? Yeah,
because that's like saying you're not allowed to walk around the street in another in a band's T-shirt because you don't own their logo, but you're advertising it.
Interesting. Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. I think it depends, because I mean, we often, like what I was talking about earlier, when I post pictures of the band live, they're not they're not pictures that I took. They are pictures of me, yes. So I guess I own the likeness there. But whether I'm making money off it is difficult to actually quantify, because I might get a booking out of it down the line, and a percentage of that picture did go towards.
Yeah, that's part of your marketing campaign. Yeah. So essentially, it is helping to pay you.
Yeah. So I don't know. So how people get compensated is getting more and more convoluted now.
Yeah. I guess it's not as simple as it once was with, like you say, with a photograph. Some of them may be watermarked with the photographer's logo on it. Sometimes you can pay a photographer X amount to get that removed.
Watermark, yeah.
But that doesn't mean you then really own the photo.
Yeah, exactly. And I actually, most of the time, ask people to put them on the photograph when they send them to me, just because otherwise I feel guilty. But anyway, we could talk about this all day. The next music story. Thank you.
I don't know what that was.
I liked it. It was lasers. UK music venues to face 125% jump in royalty fees. Now, this is the news that the Phonographic Performance Licensing Company, so PPL, a British music industry body that collects royalty payments for musicians, is planning to more than double the fees paid by pubs, bars and nightclubs to play recorded music. So, I don't know, this is a bit this could polarize a few people. By 2023, venues hosting DJ events, also including cafes, restaurants, and hotels, will pay 9 pence per person per hour versus an average at the moment of about 3.9 pence.
Yeah.
So this money is collected by Phonographic Performance, so the PPL, and distributed to the artists and record companies whose music is being played. The changes don't affect venues that use music only in the background. Which, I mean, how are people going to regulate
what
that?
determines that? Is it like a certain decibel per room size? That like, how are you going to monitor that? If you're in a really loud pub, like background noise could be louder than the full noise in a quiet pub.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's just like if people can talk over it. Is that the thing? Is it? But so anyway. Announcing the changes, the PPL stated the current tariff has been in place for around 30 years, and PPL's view, supported by economic analysis, is that the fees in it are too low to be an appropriate reflection of the value to businesses of using recorded music. I don't know about this.
Yeah.
There has nevertheless been a backlash from the hospitality industry. This is a quote here. The margins for music venues are being repeatedly squeezed, and this is yet another nail in the coffin. Some venues will undoubtedly be pushed over the edge by this increase. That's Steve Ball, the chief executive of the Colombo Group, which runs London venues, including XOYO and the Jazz Cafe. So, if he's going to feel the squeeze, I mean, these only big venues like the XOYO and the Jazz Cafe, somewhere like the Smokehouse, if they're doing a DJ event, might have to just completely up their rates for hiring the venue. So small bands like
There's
us.
so many ways to look at this. It's like, well, it might be beneficial for the artists and bands because they may actually get more revenue, but you might get less people turning up to your gigs, which means the venues then make less money. They can't afford to pay those fees, and they stop putting on bands.
And we talked about this before we went on air, is the fact that the kind of people that are getting their records played in pubs but on DJ nights aren't small musicians.
Yeah, it's a monopoly, isn't it? It's like it will just make the already
established artists
bigger and the smaller guys smaller.
Yeah, so I don't know, it might help us if we were bigger, but right now I'm not sure. The changes would wring the last life out of venues. This is a quote. It is not just nightclubs and large venues that will be hit. Village pubs that host weekly discos will be strangled by the charge, and there is every chance that such events, upon which many pubs rely, will be forced out altogether. So, scary. The changes to the fees will come into force on the 1st of July this year, with fees gradually increasing until 2023. So we've got, 4 years to figure this out. What do you guys think? Please give us a tweet. Please give us a little mention in your comments. Let us know what you think, and let us know what you want us to discuss next time. Do you think that the royalties should keep rising, or do you think that we should make it a little bit easier for small venues to figure stuff out? But anyway... until then, next week, we're going to be talking about some stuff that I thought about this morning. We didn't do that this week because Harley's not here. So I just want to quickly get on to... We've got the alternative #1 show coming up, where Rain is playing this Saturday at 5 o'clock. It's the Manor Ballroom in Ipswich with Easttown Pirates.
The Banner Room.
And the Downsetters.
Yeah, I love the Downsetters.
They're great, man. And who else is playing? I can't remember right now, but yeah, Jack the Lad are playing.
The
Members, that's it.
Jack the Lad.
Ratty... Oh, crikey, I've forgotten their name.
Oh, God, I feel awful.
I know, it's all right. But anyway, so check that out. I feel there's a few tickets left. We got also on the Thursday, Caswell is releasing a new EP. I wanted to play some of that today, but we didn't have any time because we've got music from Polly Haynes coming up, so stick around. Yeah. That her launch is at the Smokehouse. Here we are at Thursday, 4th of April. On the 5th of April, we got Blooms, Ransoms, and James Burridge at Coda, Colchester, and Essex. That's the Friday. It's in Colchester. Big gig on Saturday, 6th of April. Pet Needs are releasing the single that we just played for you, How to Perfectly Pretend, in Colchester during the day, and then they're taking a minibus from Colchester up to Camden Rocks all day at the Monarch in Camden. So there are a few seats left. This is according to Rusty. All right, mate. There's a few seats left on the minibus. If you want to say that they meet at the red light ship at Colchester, I don't quite know where that is. 11 a.m. Saturday morning. It's 23 quid a seat and entry to the gig, and you get loads of bands. It's going to be amazing. So message the band or message Rusty on Facebook if you want to get a ticket for that one. That's one not to miss, guys, because like they put on a great show, and there's some big bands playing that one as well.
They're so good.
So yeah, on that Saturday I can't make it because I'm playing at the Foxy Rock Dance Club in Mistley. Saturday at 8 o'clock. It's 10 quid to get in, unless you're a member. I think it's 6 quid. So if you want to learn how to jive or bop, or if you want to learn to just move your feet, that's at Mistley Village Hall this Saturday. It looks like it's going to be a packed one, so I can't wait. Fortunately, I can't make your show, Rainer, but enjoy it.
We're both gigging. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Always is, man. On Saturday, also at the Smokehouse, you've got the Naked French and Slow King, as well as Nancy Dunnell. We've played Slow King on the show before. He's great, so if you can check him out, 8 o'clock at the Smokehouse this Saturday. And on Sunday, we got Honey and the Bear. Nice. Playing wonderful Americana chilled out folk stuff from Lucy and John, who have helped out the Rock Project before, so thanks guys. That's the Keith Sadler Presents Night at Arlington's. That's this Sunday at 6 o'clock. Loads coming on. Loads going on. This weekend. We've only got the one gig, so I'm going to be spoiled for choice on what to do on the Friday.
Isn't Rob playing on Friday as well? Last Gunfighter.
I believe he is. Let's find out. So he
doesn't get sad that we've missed him out. Because I know he listens. You all right, Rob?
All right, boy. He doesn't give bad jobs.
Did he know what to hear?
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he is, man.
5th of April.
Friday 5th. He is at the Brewers Arms in Ipswich.
Oh yeah, that's on Spring Road, isn't it?
Spring Road.
Yeah, I've been there once before, and they've had it.
Yeah, it is.
They've had it sort of renovated recently, because I remember it just sort of looking like a bit of a dive bar. But I think they've had...
it's Orford Street.
Oh, sorry, no. Yes, you are right. Sorry, my fault. It's right around the corner from here.
Yeah.
It's and that's Andy Martin, I believe his name is, who used to do a lot of stuff on ICR and has been putting on a lot of gigs at the Brewers Arms. So down here on Norwich Road, if you want to get some, good country in you, as well as sort of country-esque covers of stuff.
He's very good.
He's got a wonderful voice.
Rob's amazing.
Crazy range on the bloke. I have no idea how he gets that high. So yeah, check that out. That's going to be Friday, 5th at 5 o'clock. At 8 o'clock he's starting that one. It's going to be 8 to 11, so he's going to be knackered by the end of it. He told me the other day he's only once ever had to stop a set midway to go to the toilet.
I've done it mid-festival set before.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never done it. I'm not saying that I'm against it, but I'm just well lucky.
Oh,
what festival was it?
I can't remember. It was one with pirates, and I just had to run off and pee. Luckily, there was a Portaloo right behind the stage, so I was
Portaloo.
I was like, kill some time. I have to go.
Yeah, guys, just vamp for a second.
Yeah.
Please go. I know that is really hard, because sometimes you'll be travelling for 4 hours to get to a festival. You'll set up, sound check, get straight on, and you've had no time to just, because you'll be loading everything in. And yeah, it's only until you get off stage like an hour later, you're just suddenly like...
I think it was at Music Day.
Really?
Music Day when we did the Toyota stage. So it's not only was that, it was on the massive 40-foot telly as well.
That's great. Oh man. Well, yeah. So good luck for Friday, Rob. I hope you relieve yourself beforehand, mate. that sounds dodgy. We were hoping that Harley was going to turn up, weren't we?
Yeah. Show his little face.
Yeah, but I mean, he might be. We
Fixing
were hoping he was fixed his van in time, but apparently not. So yeah, I know you read into that one.
Yeah.
Let's take a little quick sort of thing about what people have been saying on the Facebook. If you guys enjoyed the show, please make sure you like the you like the page. I'll get there in the end. I don't know who I am anymore. Get us on YouTube as well. You can subscribe to us on YouTube. You can subscribe to Rainer's YouTube. As he's all over the place, doing lots of different wonderful videos every week. Chris Burness wants to know what our guilty pleasures are. Give me a quick thing. What you embarrassed to listen to?
Bit Simply Red.
Simply Red. Oh, you
Busted.
and Tom love them, don't you?
Man, I love loads of cheese.
Busted, I don't think are cheesy anymore.
Yeah, true.
Rob Lewis was saying, I watched a video of Aaron Lewis, this is from ages ago, from Stained, when he walks off stage because the audience wouldn't stop talking. It was his last song
I
of
saw
the night.
that.
Yeah, and he stands away from the mic to give a more intimate feel. Obviously, he can't be heard over the audience. Do people think he's to blame, or should an audience that have bought a ticket have more respect? And is it his fault for not keeping them interested?
I have seen the video, and it's kind of like, he didn't. The crowd seemed like they really didn't care, right?
I don't know. It depends on who it is, I suppose, doesn't it?
Yeah,
If you got Andrew Lewis from Stained, I mean, not many people listen to Stained anymore, do they?
Yeah, and especially if there was a lot of younger people. I genuinely think anyone younger than 23 probably don't even know who they are.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. Interesting little snippet of things to think about this morning. I think if you're going to get annoyed at your crowd, don't berate them for it. Just get more into it. I don't know. I can't really comment on that.
Yeah.
I've never actually walked off a stage because I've been annoyed at them. But anyway, the more important thing that I want to end on, Polly Haynes, the maestro and wonderful guitarist herself, living on Mersey Island these days, is releasing her new EP 14th of April. So that's next week. But we've got an exclusive play of it. That's 2 exclusive plays today, including Goofa Dust, which was my music. So
2 and a goo.
3 brand new tracks for you guys. So this one, I love this one. If you like your reggae and dub, you got to check this one out. This one's called Eddy Street. It's going to be available on the 14th of April. Check it out. Thanks for listening, guys.
See you later.
Thanks for being here, Raina.
Bye. Thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Smash it.